Hi, everyone. Welcome to our math class for today. Today, we're going to be talking about the order of operations. And I'm hopeful if I come over here, I think you can read that okay. So I'm in a different classroom right now, and I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I think you're good. So today, we're going to be talking about order of operations. And I want to just break that down for you a little bit so that you understand why we even have an order of operations in math. So the order in which we perform each operation is what we're looking at here. So when do we solve each operation? What do we mean by operations? Well, we have four operations. So four operations. We have adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So which one do we do first? You said multiplication, didn't you? You are absolutely correct. When we're just talking about these operations, we want to multiply and divide first. What does that leave for the next operations? Right, addition and subtraction. So we want to add and subtract. So first we want to multiply and divide, then we want to add and subtract. But here's the thing. In math, especially when we get into higher levels of math like algebra, there are more than just those four operations. We've got something called parentheses, or some people like to call them brackets. So parentheses, make sure you can see, parentheses look just like this. So I'm going to put 5 minus 3 inside of these parentheses. So we can call them brackets, we can call them parentheses, but we always want to work inside of the parentheses first, okay? And then there is another operation that we can do. It is technically multiplying, but they're called exponents. So we are not going to be working with exponents today, but I want to include that anyway, just to show you. So for example, I could take the number 5 and call it 5 squared. Can you guys see that okay? This right here is an exponent. So exponent 5 squared simply means I'm going to take 5 and multiply it by itself. I'm showing you this as a side note. We will not be working with those today, but just so you know, there are other operations that we can perform other than the ones that you first think of when you think of operations, right? You think of adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, but we've also got parentheses and we've got exponents. So, oh, I just realized that there is no eraser in this room. So I'm just gonna move the computer over a little bit so that you can see the board over here. Okay, so what we want to do now is talk about using parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction in the proper order when we're solving equations, order of operations. We always want to work inside of those parentheses first. So I'm going to put parentheses here. Then we want to work on those exponents. Again, like I said today, probably not going to see any exponents, but just so you know, when we are talking about the order in which we solve these problems, exponents definitely comes next. And now the next one, like I said, we're going to multiply and divide. I use multiplication and division on the same level because when we have multiplication and division in the same equation, we want to work from left to right. So multiplication and division occur on the same level when we're talking about order of operations. So we would call this the first, the second, the third. We keep multiplication and division together, and that is simply because we want to work from left to right while we're solving. So the next one, of course, is going to be addition. We want to add and subtract. Again, addition and subtraction are on that same level. And we want to work left to right, which kind of makes sense. It's what we do when we're reading, right? And whenever we are solving equations, we work from left to right. So parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, and then add and subtract. So I want to give you a little, what is it called? Mnemonic. I was thinking phoneme. I'm like, it's not phoneme. So I want to give you a little mnemonic device that you can use to remember order of operations. And it's called PEMDAS. Some people like to call it PEMDAS, or you can even come up with a term for each letter to help you to memorize. So when I was in school, it was, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You can make one up on your own, or you can try to just memorize, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, so next thing you're going to do is go through the PowerPoint, and I'll walk you through it. So please watch the next video now.